like to talk about Syria, and there's another event going on, something that specifically hasn't been talked about too much, but it's been going on for a good while, and that has to do with an enclave near Damascus, East Ghouta. And it's an enclave which is made up of a lot of radical jihadists that been trying to support the people who want to get rid of Assad. But it looks like Assad is about to throw him out along with his allies. I'm sure Assad's allies are also helping him. But because it looks like it might fail, all of a sudden there's major articles now of how horrible, how bad it is. Sort of like what we heard when the fall of Aleppo was occurring, where Assad was recapturing that city and throwing out, you know, the rebels. So, but the news now comes out, and a press release by the United Nations, they come out and they're talking about how horrible it is and why is this happening. Of course, it's all Assad's fault, and they don't explain it. And that is not to defend, you know, Assad as a saint, obviously. Yeah. But under the circumstances, this is a really mixed bag. They did the same thing in Aleppo, and guess what? Afterwards, they realized that the people were delighted. And once Assad had control of Aleppo, 600,000 people came back in, and that's what they wanted, a little bit of stability. This is the same thing.
But this UN thing was a propaganda stunt, really. And it really is taking sides, because you didn't see where was the UN, for example, in Raqqa when the U.S. bombed the place to the smithereens? They say at least 1,800 civilians were killed. What about in Mosul, where the U.S. also blasted that to smithereens? They say up to 11,000 civilians were killed there. It's terrible. But when the U.S. is behind it, it's, oh, this is great, we've got to liberate it. But when the designated enemy is behind it, even if the people holding it and holding these people hostage are objectively bad guys, you know, it's just a shame to see the UN, and not surprising to see the UN use this kind of tactic.